It seems, Robard, that we're running out of options.
We don't have enough men to scale the walls with ladders. And we can't afford to lose any more. We can only take Talmberg by a ruse or with superior numbers. Ruses have failed, and we don't have superior numbers.
Then we are left with no choice but to build a trebuchet. To demolish my own walls. Where is Master Fafar?
He's waiting. We sent for him as soon as...
Bring him to me. Let's not waste time.
Sir Divish.
You will build me a trebuchet, Master Tobias.
Trebuchet, my lord. That's not entirely in my field of expertise.
We have to take back Talmberg.
Yes, indeed, sir, I understand that,
You
but...
are the best engineer we can rely on in the whole fiefdom.
Oh, well, thank you, my lord, but... It's just that I've never built a trebuchet before. This could take some time.
Then you'd better get to it. Bernard will go over the plan of attack with you.
Oh.
Well, Master Tobias, you have much to do and little time. I will not keep you any longer.
Indeed. Of course, sir. Thank you, my lord.
How are the preparations proceeding in the other camps?
As well as can be expected under the circumstances. There are still many things that need doing, but I just don't have the time for them.
No, you don't. Henry.
Yes, sir.
I would like for you to help with the preparations in the encampments.
Gladly, sir.
Robard will brief you. That'll be all.
What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Fafar, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Robard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart, too. That place is my home.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, We don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle will be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchet is wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Ratai. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Ishtvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stuck up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranic for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
Is there anything else I can help with?
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry. Take care now.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Talmberg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Conrad Kieser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Conrad Kieser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege of Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
You're still an engineer, though. Couldn't you build it yourself?
Are you serious? Do you know how complicated such a machine is? What forces are at work in the contraption? If we were lucky, it wouldn't fire at all. Far more likely it would smash itself to smithereens and kill lots of us instead of the enemy.
He was with Sigismund.
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Conrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Conrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlehem Castle.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sasau?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all. Take care now.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
My respects to you.
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too. God be with you.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Sir, I met the parish priest of Uzhitz, and I must say he's a very interesting man.
I should say so. Have you ever seen him at swordplay? Not bad for a man of the cloth, is he? Rumor has it, when he finished his studies at the university where his father sent him, he decided the religious life wasn't for him, and vanished to foreign parts. They say he made a living as a mercenary. I even heard he fought against the Turk at the Battle of Kosovo, and then he suddenly came back and settled down here. No doubt it cost his family plenty, but he's a fair man and I'm fond of him. There's a lot to be said for a priest with a good understanding of vice.
How are you, my lord?
How do you think? That slimy toad has my blood boiling. If I get my hands on him, I'll rip his black heart out. Only I've been handed the job of guarding the western route, at the quarry, and there's not a damn thing happening there.
Well, at least you're out of archery range of the castle.
True, but it's not much consolation. If the men don't get something to do soon, I'll have to put them to work in the quarry. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
How do you think the siege will go, sir?
Better than it has done so far, I hope. First we lost your lord and father, and then our nighttime assault failed.
I'm sorry we didn't succeed. It would all have been over by now. But at least we got out alive.
If the two of you had been left behind, Istvan would have had another pair of hostages. Oh, let's pray our fortunes improve. But I'm a bit worried about that trebuchet. I don't have much experience with engines of war. Even if we do drive Toth out, there might not be much left of the castle after we've done it.
Sir Hanush, do you think Sir Radzig is all right?
Oh, don't worry, he's more used to Toth alive, so he's in no danger for now.
For now.
Radzig's a man who knows how to take care of himself. I'm more concerned about Lady Stephanie. It would be dreadful if anything happened to her.
It was a pleasure to talk to you, Sir Hanush.
Likewise, Henry. Good luck, then.
No! Clear off and sleep.
me. I want to sleep. God save you.
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man, simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. When they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open.
How goes it, Sir Bernard?
How goes it? We're sitting here under the castle, and all day long there's folks hewing stones. My ears are ringing as if I've been struck on the head, which is just how I feel.
I felt that way too since the night of the attack.
That went horribly wrong. And even so, we were lucky. Could have gone much worse. Good luck then.
Yeah. Yeah. Greetings. What do you need?
How do you feel, Sir Divish? How's the shoulder?
I felt better, boy. I feel awful, truth be told. And my shoulder's paining me.
Let someone tend to the wound and you'll soon be better.
The flesh can be healed, perhaps. But the spirit... Henry, can you do something for me?
What is it you need, sir?
I need a priest as well as a physician. The closest was in Rovna, but I don't know what happened to him. And then there's the one from Ujits. What's his name?
Godwin. But why would you need a priest? The wound will heal, especially with the help of one of the monks.
It's not about me. I've got a lot of wounded here that won't see morning, and dead men. And I have to confess my sins. God be with you. Yeah.
Mit keresel itt? Véletlenül kibújtál az anyád szoknyája alól?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ's blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God preserve you, good knight. Can I do something for you?
I need something to keep our soldiers awake. Do you know of anything that might help?
I do know of a concoction to ward off sleep. I can teach you how to make it if you like.
But I need enough for at least 100 people.
I can't help you with that. You'll have to brew up a bit at a time as it's needed. So, do you want to do it or not?
No, I need someone who will do it for me.
I'm sorry, but I'm not a miracle worker. I can only sell you what I have.
Is there anything I can do for you?
As it happens, there is. Drahomira, a widow from Ledechko, requested my services, but it's a long way on foot, and me with my back in such dreadful pain. I simply can't face the journey.
All the way from Ledechko? What, they don't have a herbalist there?
They do, but she didn't want a local. She's a rich widow, inherited a butcher's shop. You know how folks like to gossip, especially about anyone who's better off than them. Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
Exorcisms?
You know, banishing ghosts, smudging, spells.
A haunted butcher shop? All in a day's work for me.
It's not a task to be undertaken lightly. This is a real ghost, the spirit of a dead man who hasn't found peace. In order to banish him from the world of the living, you'll need to do a few things.
Slit a black cock's neck on the poor soul's grave?
What a despicable thought! No. Do you know what smudging is? You'll need 10 poppies and some flowers from the deceased grave. Once you have all that, bring it to the house that's being haunted. Light it on fire, and the smoke will purge the place of any unwanted spirits.
Sounds like fun. I'll help you.
It's no game. It's a very serious matter. Drahomira was terrified, and these aren't forces to be meddled with lightly.
Fine. Is there anything else I should know?
That's a question for Drahomira. You'll find her in her cottage on the very edge of Ledechko. God be with you. Take care. Good health to you.
The troops are falling asleep on guard duty. Do you have anything to help?
There's a recipe I know. I could brew up enough for 2 or 3 men with what I have here.
No, I need enough for a whole bloody encampment. Actually, for 3 camps.
That much? It would take me a week just to pick the herbs for it. Unless you were to do a bit of the legwork yourself.
Seems only reasonable, since I'm the one who wants it. What do you need?
1 handful of valerian and 2 of mint, but make sure it's fresh. And a little wormwood wouldn't hurt. Goodbye.
God be with you.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I don't have anything that would last the journey there, and I certainly don't want to swing for poisoning anyone. Take care now. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Come and get it!
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You men are like...
Yeah.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could. There's nothing in it for me.
The camp's not that far away. Imagine if the soldiers got so upset by the lack of beer, they went on the hunt for it and ended up here. They could do some real damage. Wouldn't it be better to have them drunk and happy somewhere else?
If they came here for a drink, I'd sell it to them. Why would they do any damage?
What if someone lied to them that you were a Toth supporter and that they'd have to make do with water?
Go ahead and try, and we'll see how it turns out.
But surely you don't want it to come to that.
Maybe I do, lad. Stop wasting my time and fuck off now, eh?
The camp's not that far away.
If they came here for a drink,
What if someone lied to them that you...
go ahead and try.
But surely you don't want it to...
Maybe I...
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg told Sir Divish? When Sir Havel and Volbeck was the massacre, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
The gentry have other things on their minds right now than a tavern in the borderlands. They'd need someone to remind them of it first.
You're not suggesting...
You wouldn't be the sort to go off there and snitch on me, now would you?
If you don't see an opportunity in this right away, there's not much I can do to help you.
I still have a lot to learn from you.
What do you think about Talmberg being attacked?
What do I think? That as long as decent people can live in peace, I can talk my way out paying taxes. I don't care who my liege lord is.
Well, this new lord never forgets a man who fails to pay him a single groschen, and the poor probably go straight to the gallows for it.
That's terrible news, especially for us poor folk. I hope you'll drive him out of here so fast he'll shit himself, or hang him from the tallest Talmberg tree.
People usually shit themselves when that happens too.
All to the good. A nice bit of manure and everything blossoms.
Have you still got some beer?
God be with you.
Here, enjoy it.
Only one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah!
Hey, who's there?
Yeah!
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't have any to spare. I can hold out a while with what I have, but I'd be running short myself if it came to that. You'll have to try somewhere else. God be with you.
There's something I need from you, Father Godwin.
Is there, my son? How can I help?
There are a lot of dead and wounded at Talmberg, and no one to make the sign of the cross on their foreheads.
I'd like to help, but sadly I simply can't. My own parishioners are watching me closely, and if I make just one false move, they'll have the bishop down on my back.
But Sir Divish himself...
If he wants me, let him come and speak to me himself. But I'm not going anywhere. It's your fault I have to live with a sword dangling over my head, Hal, and don't think I've forgotten it.
I never forced you to do anything. And just because I didn't help you out, you're denying God's forgiveness to innocent strangers.
How dare you? Do you think I'd stoop to such pettiness? My reasons are honorable.
All right, I understand. So why don't you turn it round on them? Why don't you say you'll go to Talmberg because it's the right thing to do and your Christian duty, even though you might be shot in the process, like that saint?
Sebastian, that might help, I suppose. But tell me the truth. Is the air really thick with arrows?
It is a siege, but all the camps are well out of range, so you don't have to worry about that.
Well, see how the martyrdom angle works, and then I'll go. At least getting out of here for a while will give me a break from all those judgmental looks. To forgive is human, damn it! Or is it to err that's human? I can never remember.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders would ease my burden. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Uzhets women to witchery.
A little bird told you, did it?
You know how good people are at seeing the splinter in another's eye and not the beam in their own.
In other words, someone's been gossiping. And what's the problem?
As long as herb women stick to giving psychic to folk and bloated cows, assisting in childbirth, or burning incense in bedrooms to help with sleep, then nothing at all. But this is sacrilege, and it's unsafe. All sorts of molds and lichens and poisonous plants and other foul things go into those concoctions. I'd hate to see her poison some poor gullible lass.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can and deal with it.
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods. Good luck, then.
Oh, watch what you're doing. People walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you. Do you need anything? May the Lord watch over.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
You'd be wise to give me a straight answer. I mean you no harm.
As long as it's the truth you speak. Very well. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs. Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end, I let them talk me into it.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see, a place of wonder and terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their sabbaths on broomsticks?
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead and ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
Yeah. I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard their plea.
Their plea, or the clink of their coin? And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you know what they do to witches?
They burn them alive.
That they do. So don't be surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
What kind of ointment was...
One that will show you a... I don't...
So all...
The ointment...
Will you give me the ointment?
It contains belladonna.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend, and watch over them to keep them safe.
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me to.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women. Goodbye.